Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Willie Jolley and my beautiful bride.
This is Dee.
And we're the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. And we are excited that next month we'll celebrate 39 years of marriage. Haven't had an argument in 37.
And I'm only 39 years old. How'd that happen?
Oh, I don't know. It's just amazing how that happened.
I was a baby.
You was a baby. That's exactly right. So 39 years of marriage. Haven't had an argument in 37 years. Like I told the people on Today Show when they had us on the Today Show, they said, you never had an argument. I said, I didn't say that. Haven't had an argument in 37 years. Those first couple of years were like World War III. But we learned some wise tips, some wise lessons from some wise marriage mentors. And we used them and they worked. And now we are sharing them with everybody we can, wherever we can, whenever we can, so that people can be impacted in a positive way.
We were willing to do the work.
Woo! We jumping back in where we were last week. For those who weren't with us last week.
We're talking about, it's a series on phrases.
Words, phrases. Well, it's the series is Watch Your Words. And it's words and phrases that can destroy, disrupt, implode your relationships, your marriage. And so we are grateful that we are able to share some of these. So we want to say in advance to all of those watching who might usually put a post in the chat, this is being recorded. So we're just telling you right up to the front, this is being recorded.
We're pre-recording because we're on travel.
We're traveling, but we didn't want to leave you high and dry. So if we don't respond to your chat messages, just know we will see them when we get back. Yeah, we will. But we wanted to make sure we didn't not have new content for you today. So we're pre-recording this, and we appreciate your still putting your thoughts and the ideas in the chat as you do every week, whether you're on IG or whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on LinkedIn or whether you're on Twitter or wherever you follow us. And then also we want to thank all of those who watch this in the replay every week. We got people who watch it every week in the replay. So we get you look cute. You're just so cute.
I'm coordinating with you.
Ah.
You have on a yellow shirt and I have on mustard.
Ah. You turned me on, you know that. Anyway, so we exactly grateful. Our wedding anniversary coming up June 28th.
Yes. 39
years of marriage, happily married too. Happily, we dig each other. Now this happens because we were willing to work, and we started this last week. To make a marriage
of willing.
That's right. To make a marriage work, you must be willing to do the work to make it work.
Oh, yes. It's so good with words.
And it is, as my friend Johnny Parker said, Johnny and Leslie Parker, if you didn't see their interview we did here on the show with them. Johnny often says, marriage, it is hard work. It is heart work. Mm-hmm. And you must do the work. But the hard work is not breaking bricks, lifting bricks, doing strenuous activity. It's not heavy labor or laborers. It's work on your heart. Work on your thinking.
On yourself.
Work on yourself. The willingness to compromise. The willingness to say, I'm sorry. The willingness to not always have your way. Those are ways, and that's the selfish part people have, where they got to be right. I'm the man of this house. Everything I said, or as my friend Giles Haygood said, Giles is just fantastic, and he and Thelma have been married many years. And Giles said, "You know, Willie, he's so funny. He said, when I married Thelma, I told her I make all of the big decisions in this marriage. All right, don't forget that. We've been married for 4 years. I'm wondering when I'm going to get a big decision come along. He said he is humorous, but he respects his wife. And so what we want to say to you is make sure that you're willing to do the work. It's not hard labor. It's not strenuous. It's work on your heart. So as Johnny Parker said, marriage is hard work on self. It's heart, Heart work. You have work on your heart. Be forgiving.
Yes.
My doctor.
Be thoughtful.
My doctor.
Be kind.
Yeah, my doctor, Rodney Ellis. We are bike riding partners, and he says that marriage is two imperfect people who are constantly trying to perfect forgiveness. That's good.
Oh, that's great.
That's good, isn't that?
That's good. Yeah.
So you got to forgive each other, and when somebody hurts your feelings, you got to tell them. We've often say, and last week we stressed it as well. Don't let the sun go down on your wrath. Don't take the day's problems into tomorrow. If your feelings are hurt, if you're feeling low, or you felt hurt, or you felt devalued, talk about it. Now you got to do it in the way we teach on the TED Talk. Hopefully all of y'all have seen the TED Talk. If you haven't, go to jolleymarriage.com. See the TED Talk for the 4 ways to never ever argue again in marriage, or the 4 tips so that you would never ever argue again in marriage. But one of those is you've got to watch your words, and not just what you say, how you say it, and the temperament you bring to say it. If you come in hot, you come in mad, you come in, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem.
So we go to the series.
Yeah, we've been in the series.
Watch your words. Then there are single words, and then there are phrases.
Yeah. So the first
that can hurt and harm. You know, I was going to bring a tube of toothpaste as a great visual, because our words are like the toothpaste. Once you squeeze it out the tube, you cannot put it back in. So you want to listen to your heart and learn, because a lot of times we don't know the right words to use. That's what I believe, because what we've learned can be very limiting. So we've studied whatever it is. I was a history, American studies major, American history. I studied that. So I knew the language. I could interpret the history, but I then had to study how to be a great partner.
Yes.
So this is something that you can learn.
It's learnable.
So when we say the words, the series, watch your words.
Watch your words.
Like, I don't know any other words to use. You can learn it, right? So we talked about whatever.
First thing was the word whatever. That's words you don't use.
Which
not
is dismissive.
Dismissive.
And having the attitude.
Attitude. So that was the first part of the series. Don't use the word whatever with that. And you know when you say it, you say with attitude. Whatever. That's dismissive. And it devalues. We want to get away from the words and the phrases that devalue. Last week we did the phrase that impacts
negatively.
Negatively.
I don't care.
I don't care. I don't care.
That means you don't care.
Let me read about what that means.
The other person is feeling or thinking.
Yeah. Chapter number 4 is the biggest chapter in the book. We give it away free on our website at jolleymarriage.com. And in that chapter, we talk about the fact that people have these systems that and I don't care is close to stonewalling or silent treatment. Let me read that. Withholding information can come in a number of ways. One way is when people only tell part of the truth. The trouble is that when your spouse only knows part of the story, it impacts the ability to get the whole issue resolved. Stonewalling is another way that information is withheld. According to the well-known marriage counselor John Gottman, stonewalling is usually a male issue. It is when someone refuses to communicate and says like, this is the end of that conversation. Okay, whatever, or I don't care, or do whatever you want. No mas, I'm done. Those kind of statements, they can sound like I'm not talking to you anymore. Often this is a behavior that is taught to young men along with the concept of being strong, silent, and never crying. This is old-fashioned and destructive way of thinking. The part that goes for the second part is the women, typically the silent treatment. Another form of withholding information is giving your spouse the silent treatment. This typically is a female way of not communicating, but shutting down all communication and hoping your spouse will figure it out is not a wise way to keep the communication lines open and get the issue solved and get back to loving. Though it isn't wise, it happens often in marriages. One of our friends shared that she would shut down and cut off all communication with her husband when she was angry, and her marriage ended in divorce. How can you communicate? How can you fix the problem if you refuse to talk? The answer sounds obvious, but people behave this way all the time without considering what an absurd tactic it is, without thinking about the long-term impact. Woo, right out of the book. You get that chapter free. Chapter number 4 on the Jolley Marriage site. So today we got another phrase.
Get over it.
What is that?
Get over it.
Get over it.
I never learned how to work my neck and do all that. I was a nice
people in an argument and somebody's feelings are hurt.
I was a nice little Southern belle.
Yeah, you were. And you're still a little cute Southern belle.
Thank you.
All right. So when you're in an argument or somebody's feelings are hurt and they're trying to tell you that feelings are hurt, and the other person said, get over it.
That means they dismissed you.
Oh, they dismissed your feelings, not just you, but your feeling. Because you're already saying, I'm hurt, I'm harmed, I feel devalued, and they say, get over it. You better get over that. Just get over it. It's like it's something you could just turn a switch or flip a switch and get over that. No, that's not how. Okay.
The Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, you got a journal for everything, says emotional validation is crucial for a meaningful relationship.
What does that mean?
Emotional validation, that I value you. So if I value you, I'm not going to dismiss what you have to say.
It's acknowledging.
I'm not going to.
And accepting,
get over it.
Acknowledging, accepting someone's feelings is crucial in relationship. It's crucial. I understand. Now look, what we might call empathy. And so when somebody's hurt, you at least
you need to listen so that you can get what they are going through.
Well, how they feeling? If they say their feelings are hurt, then you've got to respect the call. Oh, that one is good. Let me go back to the book. Here we go. This is a big one, folks. Respect the call. Now, this one is one I've used before.
Okay, you say respect the call. Okay, that means you accept how they're feeling, but that doesn't yet resolve.
No, but you can't resolve it until you talk about it. But if you say, get over it, then you don't respect the feeling. Okay, here's respect the call. Respect the call. The person you married is also the person you chose. So make a point to speak to them with love and respect. And we are all humans, of course, and occasionally things might not be said with the appropriate tone of respect and love. It happens. When it does, be open to how the other person says that makes them feel. Here's where we get. For example, now this is important. During a pickup basketball game, as many men know, but now many women know because they play in the WNBA and a lot of women play basketball. When a person calls foul on a court in the urban market or whatever, it is universally accepted that you must respect the call. You don't have to agree with it. You must respect the call when your mate says their feelings have been hurt. Now let's go through this scenario. So
respect call, that's like the rules of the game.
It's unwritten on a court. You playing, let's say I'm guarding a guy. He goes up for a shot and I don't even touch him, but I get close to him and I pull back, say, no, I'm not, and he misses. He say, foul. I didn't foul that dude. But everybody on the court knows if he calls foul, whether I agree with it or not, I got to respect the call. That's standard operating procedure. So respecting the call. You don't have, and look, you don't have.
That means I'm saying my interpretation is that it means you respect the person, you respect that culture.
You respect the rules of the game. And that's unspoken for everybody knows that if you play with. I don't agree with that call, but there's no referees out here, but we got to respect the call. Let me finish. So 2, you must respect the call when your mate says their feelings have been hurt. It is important that you tell your spouse how their words made you feel. Remember that no one can tell you how to feel. Your spouse might not have intended for the words to have that impact, but only you can say how the words made you feel. Do what Dee and I do. Share that pain quickly, talk it out, and then just as quickly apologize. What was that wedding comment that we heard at Kali's wedding? This was one of the best I've ever. The minister said, "Do you ever when the vows? Do you ever intend to hurt your wife? No. Might you ever hurt your wife? Yes. It's not the intention to do it, and apologize.
So the intent is important.
Intent. I didn't intend to hurt you.
And I will say sometimes, but then it becomes necessary to explain.
Explain it.
You don't know what the other person's intent was with just an action.
That's right. That's right.
Because that can be misinterpreted.
Right. So what we're saying to everybody is watch your words. No whatever. I don't care. Don't do that. And then this one is get over it. That's after someone has said my feelings were hurt.
When you say get over it, it prevents resolution because then communication stops.
Shut down.
So get over it. I'm leaving.
Yeah. Well, it's like stonewalling. Like stonewalling, like silent treatment. Mm-hmm. It's a way that hurts your ability to share. What else does it do?
Destroys trust.
Woo! Destroys the trust. And we did that.
How can you have a meaningful relationship if you can't trust each other?
I think those are oxymorons. You can't have both things. A meaningful relationship and no trust. If you're going to have a good relationship, because otherwise you're not going to be vulnerable. Or not vulnerable, you're not going to be honest. You're not going to be authentic.
But I think vulnerable is a good word.
Well, it's a good word, but men kind of have a problem. I'm not vulnerable. I'm not vulnerable. But just being truthful. My feelings were hurt. Now, men have a hard time so often saying my feelings were hurt. But man, I've learned when I tell her, you hurt my feelings. Men got feelings like women got feelings.
That happens so seldom.
I know it does. It's really seldom. Really seldom. But if
we have a great sense of humor.
Once a year I might say, you hurt my feelings with something.
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
When I used to travel by myself. You know where I'm going with this. And I would call her.
Go ahead, tell it.
I tell the world. I'm traveling. I'm by myself. I'm in a airport. The flight got delayed. I call her. She's in the office working, and I said, I want to talk to her. And she, what? I gotta go. Bam! I'm getting ready to talk, and I had to come back and say, don't do that, please. Hurts my feelings.
Well, I didn't understand.
You didn't understand
until you explained to me.
Right.
Because I'm in a whole nother zone where I'm in the office.
I need to talk to you at that moment. I need to have conversation.
But then when you explain.
Yes. And you got
Here's what's going on.
She adjusted. She did.
I did.
Yeah.
And then when I started traveling with you, I really understood the emotional impact of just schlepping stuff from here to there, getting to the hotel. Okay, what hotel are we in? What? The other room was 310. This is 35 something. And the sense of connection to home,
right,
becomes very important.
Right, that connection. But that's an example,
right,
of being sensitive when my feelings are hurt. So men can be vulnerable. They got feelings like women got feelings. And so you make a point.
You explained to me why. You said, you can't hang up on me. This is, and I was not aware,
right,
that I was actually hanging up on you. I know that I'm abrupt in terms of any comment. You made me aware of that.
Right. And let me tell you, we were on an interview a couple weeks ago with Dr. Rose, national nutritionist, and she has a new morning show. And she said, I've been around them and I noticed how Dee can be on a tough negotiation, abrupt, abrasive, hard. And when Willie walks in and says, I need something, she says, yes, dear.
I code switch. That's a whole nother thing we need to talk about. Professional women, you got to be hard driving. You in the fight, but with your mate, your significant other, you got to code switch.
Code switch. That's right. Code switch. And she does it well now. Okay.
Tender, loving, kind, supportive.
She's got my back. All right. So trust. We've talked about it. How, trust is critical. We did a show a few weeks ago about trust, and that you build trust in droplets, and
that was good.
You lose it in buckets. So work on the trust. Be careful. How can you grow a great relationship without trust? And so when you tell somebody to get over it, it destroys and erodes trust.
And along with that, again, John Gottman, who has the Gottman Institute that studies marriage and relationships, talks about when you lose trust, you think about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Mm-hmm. Thank you, dear. Mm-hmm. Criticism, mm-hmm. contempt, mm-hmm. defensiveness, and your favorite stonewalling.
Oh, let's go through criticism. You express this.
So how do you
approval or
talk
dismissive?
To your mate, but you're critical,
right? And how you say it. We've heard people say, "You're always wrong." That's such negative.
When I was teaching a class, women's ministry class, and one of the ladies there asked the question and said something that amounted to that my husband was stupid and she was pregnant. So I just go straight to, well, this is what you chose. So what does that make you? So I think sometimes we are not aware of the words we use. That is why reading and listening to positive relationships, how to communicate, is so invaluable, because often we don't have the words to use. We don't have the tools to use to make the relationships work, to positively express ourselves. And we say silly stuff.
You say stupid. We're not silly. Stupid.
Okay.
You say stupid stuff.
Stupid stuff.
That is stupid.
Now, just think about this. For a spouse to say, my mate is stupid, I would have to think, now, before I say that, I have to say to myself,
what does that mean?
I wasn't imprisoned, all right? I wasn't forced to be in this relationship. What does that make me if my mate is stupid? Mm. So if my mate was genuinely, like out to lunch, do you think I would tell the world? I'd be working on trying to fix that.
I'm trying to help him get better.
Amen.
So don't say things that are stupid. Think before you speak. Think before you speak.
And you're creating the environment, the atmosphere where you're either helping or hurting your relationship. Every word that comes up does not have to come out of your mouth.
That's right. That's right. You don't have to say everything you think.
No.
You do not have to do it. And you have to hold back. This is critical, folks, because people will say things. They will broach subjects that don't need to be talked about. And
they don't know what they're talking about. Sometimes people just mull on and on.
And some of the time, it's a security issue.
Mm-hmm.
Or by that, I mean lack of security, lack of esteem. They don't feel good about themselves. So they bring up these stupid conversations that are always going to end poorly. Think about what you're saying. Think about how you're going to say it. And think about, it's like playing chess. If I move here, what are the unintended consequences that could possibly happen? Don't go in there like a bull in a china cabinet.
Again, I go back as a former teacher. I go back to, you know what? You can learn it.
Right.
Just like I had to learn how to network with being out with you, with all these different people. I actually had to read several networking books and come up with and memorize some phrases.
Because she's an introvert. Because she's an introvert.
So when I tell people, they're like, you are not yes, I am. But when I'm in a situation where I am with other people and I understand what is necessary to connect, I do what is necessary, which means I learned how to connect. I learned some phrases that I could use to start a conversation.
She does very
you
well.
Go in and you go
I'm going in. Woo, I'm going in talking to folks. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? So good. I'm an extrovert. She's an introvert.
And you know what? We collect different data.
Yes, we do.
So when we get back together, it's like
she got the detailed conversation about the people, where they live, what they're going through.
Because I learned how to ask questions. And here's the other thing. People think you're a wonderful person because you allowed them to talk.
Yep.
So what you're doing is actually learning about them, and you're making them feel good or better because you are listening. You are valuing them enough to listen to them, which is really what relationships
What a relationship is
all about.
What a relationship. So Gottman was right. There's criticism. You don't want to criticize, express disapproval in a negative way. You can be critiqued without being critical. Mm-hmm. Then contempt, that the person's thoughts are beneath consideration. That's when you say things like "get over it," or you never.
You're really putting somebody down.
Yeah, you're putting them down. That's not good. Mm-hmm. Number 3 is defensiveness. You get a defensive strategy. Don't be challenging me. And you put up a block. You put up a wall, and that's why we tell people in our TED Talk, friends first. First, friendly. In the 4 F's, be friendly. Be friendly. But don't go in hot. People put up defense mechanism. And then stonewalling, shutting down. Stonewalling, silent treatment.
That means
listening.
No communication.
Right. Okay.
Okay. And then lastly, what this, I don't care. Which one is
what this one is? Get over it.
Get over it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it impacts your mental health.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It says it causes increased anxieties. The research shows that lack of emotional support can cause long-term negative impacts on people. Isn't that something?
Wow.
Emotional support.
Wow.
Which is really emotional intimacy.
Yep.
So you have different kinds of intimacy. We've been through that. We can cycle back. But to be close to somebody, you're not talking about having sex. So there are different kinds of
intimacy.
There's
emotional, there's mental, there's spiritual, there's physical, all of these types of intimacy. And they're important. And when you're
to the well-being
yes.
of the individual.
And when you treat people really nice and they treat you nice in return, it creates a really loving kind. But it's got to be, go back to where we started, willing. Are you willing to do the work?
Yes.
Marriage is hard work and heart work. Are you willing to do the work? If you do, it makes your life so much nicer.
Hard work in the sense that you are learning how to live with another human being.
And not just live with them, but live successfully,
to live
peacefully,
successfully,
and joyfully.
Joyfully.
We got to joyfully. We got
where you like being together. Like we went to bed, after Sunday with 2 services, working after. We
went to service. Then we went to the Greek festival.
And then I volunteered.
She volunteered, and then we went to the Greek.
And then talking to other people, I was emotionally drained.
She
then
said,
we went to the Greek Easter service, and we were in bed like 7 o'clock.
We just enjoyed the evening.
I took all my books, everything.
We both snoozing in and out, watching a little TV, snuggle, and it was wonderful. And it was rainy, so it was a great time to just.
We appreciate each other. That's what we want.
That's right.
You to do.
It's just joy. Our time is up.
Look out for each other.
For those who might be joining late, this is a recording. We are traveling in Ohio this week, but we wanted to not have you high and dry. We wanted some new content. So
this is part of the series of
Watch Your Words. Okay.
So you can go back and you can get whatever.
Right.
You can get
I don't care. And now get over it. Okay. Yes. Send us if you have
all of those are things that being removed from your vocabulary.
So a couple things. If you got an issue, concern, problem in your relationship, you want our counsel, our mentorship, send us an email, info@williejolly.com, info@williejolly.com. We'll keep it anonymous. If you don't have the book, go to jollymarriage.com, get the book. Also watch the TED Talk. If you get the book, get 2 copies so that each one of you and your significant other can read it together. At the end of each chapter, here's what we prescribe. At the end of each chapter, talk about what you learned in that chapter. Don't go through the whole book. Do it chapter by chapter. It'll change your marriage. It'll change your relationship.
Okay, May, the month of May. I got to repeat.
All right, repeat.
National Stroke Awareness Month. So your health is everything.
Yeah.
Lupus Awareness Month.
Yep.
National Bike Month for my biker over here. National Foster Care Month. Older Americans Month. Please, AARP is amazing. I love AARP. You just have to be 50. And you know what? You can join and you don't even have to be 50. It's $12 a year. Information is so helpful, from health to finance to scams. It's amazing. Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, National Physical Fitness and Sports Month, and Mental Health Awareness Month.
And don't be afraid to get some mental health help. If you broke your foot, you go to the doctor. You broke your hand, you go to the doctor. But you got a broken heart and you try and heal it yourself, bad choice. Go get some help. Talk to somebody. That's it. Our time is up. We're a little over our time, but it's okay. We'll see you next week, hopefully live. But, I'm back to traveling. I'm back to speaking live, and people are calling after 4 years of COVID and virtual. It's time to get back on the road. So if you want me to come to your city, your organization, just go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com, but also go to the Jolley Marriage Show. JolleyMarriage.com. And thank you for those who are watching the replay or the Jolley Marriage Show on YouTube. Our time is up. Hope you enjoyed it. We're going to go out with my song from my one-man show called Close to You, and from my jazz album.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.